a small biz pro, and so we grow. Using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Welcome, everyone. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal.
and Coach Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. Folks, happy anniversary to us.
Wow,
Man,
it's
it's been
been
what,
a
8 years co-host? 8 years?
it has been 8 years. Who would have thought
Dang.
we would be still on air so long? And it's been a great journey, and we've had some amazing conversations, some amazing guests, and it's pretty cool, man. They say that if you can be on air consistently for a long period of time, there is some, at least the content is good, right? Or just that um we're just stubborn. I
I
don't know
hear
which
that.
one.
I hear that, man. Well, I think it's all of the above.
We were stubborn to want to bring information to our clientele, understanding that we had some value to bring. So, congratulations to you, co-host,
That's right.
and
Same to you, man.
yeah, so 8 years. So I was looking back through some video, and oh my gosh, we've had some great conversation. I am going to bring us up to some of the first ones, and so we made our debut at Morris Media. We were at Morris Media for about we started in 2016, and I want to say that we for 4 years up, or at least up into the pandemic, we were actually filming in a studio.
Yeah. Those were
Yeah,
the days, man. Those were the days when we have in studio guests and we talked about all types of topics and just rooting out some of the basic information and functionality of other small businesses that we interview. It was just great.
yeah, it was. It was very good. And the reason why we wanted to do it in the first place, and so and why we're still here today. So we will be talking about all of that. How was your? But before we do that, we're gonna talk about how was your week.
My week was pretty good. I did some business stuff where I had to take care of some things with some clients, and
Okay.
it was pretty good. Very rewarding. So I felt pretty good. The thing about it is, the days went by so quickly. I didn't even realize today is Friday. I'm going, wait a second. I was thinking today was like Wednesday or something like that. That's how quickly it went. How about you, co-host? How about you?
Well, mine started with the kids this week. So we started our second cohort this week, and so I knew what day it was, and then we had 2 days. Yeah, then we had I had one day there, and then we actually went on a field trip the second day, and
Oh
then the
wow.
third day we were back at school, and then third and fourth day, and then today we went on another field trip. So, and then I had a podcast on Thursday. So that's kind of how I gauge what day it is based upon the day I have a podcast. So, so I knew what day it was. Um, but it did go by fast, and for me, my fast goes fast because I have both morning and nighttime going on simultaneously.
Yeah. I can imagine how quickly yours went because you had so many things going on. It's like, whoa.
Yeah,
I
I
applaud
had
you every time, man. You're like I tell you, you're like superwoman doing like 15 different things at the
a
same
15
time.
different things. Although this week I will say I am kind of tired this week.
Yeah, man. You gotta this weekend, woo, you're gonna have to just do crystal stuff.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to do crystal stuff. It's just like whoa. So, but I am happy to be here. I'm happy that we made it to 8 years.
Yeah, man.
And I think that's pretty cool. We did get one of my clients, and I don't know if you know her, but Keisha Mills. She has a company called Winter Grace Sugar Free Chocolate.
Oh,
And she says, congratulations to both of us. Teamwork makes the dream work. And
all
it's all
right.
that. Oh, and she said that in the midst of that, she was mentoring me in my business.
Fanatical.
Yes, 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 yes. I have to take care of my adults like I take care of my kids. So,
Oh man, that is great, man. That is great, and it's amazing that you can provide that type of coaching, mentoring, and support to the small businesses in the midst of you doing all these other things. So much respect to you. Much respect to the small businesses that they listen and they follow your lead and make the coaching experience, much smoother. So much respect to that. And
you know,
Winter Grace, I appreciate you calling in and giving props to my calls. Thank you for that.
so sometimes you don't know what with children you tend to know that you touch them or make an impact, actually probably more so than you get from the feedback from your clients, unless they've been with you for years and years and years, and then they definitely appreciate you, like Miss Keisha over there. But kids, so I was at water aerobics the other day, and one of the young ladies, the young lady that was behind the counter, and she was handing me, I was handing her my bag, and she was handing me the pen so that I could pick up my bag. And she says, Miss Crystal. And I'm like, okay, who knows me in here by Miss Crystal? And so I was a young lady that was in my class 4 years ago. At the
Wow.
beginning, she was and this one's even more impactful because um, she was in the COVID virtual class. So we really never met them in person. We
Hmm.
only saw them online. So she kind of knew who I was. Oh, Miss Crystal, you remember me? I was in this camp. I had such a great time. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Right. This is great, man. This is great. Much respect to Andrea Vigil also. She says, congratulations on our 8th year of being in the podcast business. So thank you, Andrea. Andrea, folks, if you don't know who Andrea Vigil is, you need to know this lady. This lady is phenomenal. She's one of our clients. She's one of our supporters. She's one of our guests on the program, and she's doing great things in Las Vegas, guys. We can't wait to have her on this show again as a guest. And much respect to you, Andrea. Keep up the good work.
Hi, Andrea. Good to see you. I hear it's super, 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 five super hot in Vegas. I saw a traffic light was melted the other day. I call that five to the 10th power hot when the traffic light actually melts.
I'm
Thank
telling
you,
you, man.
Keisha. Um, so other than that, nothing other. You did have. What did you do for 4th of July? Because I don't think I spoke
Fourth of
to you.
July, what did I do? I hung out with a few people, just kick back a little bit. But I spend a lot of time, co-host. I listen to you. I spend a
Mm,
lot of time doing my passion, what I love the most. And what's that? What's my passion?
music.
That's right.
Oh, were you doing
So
some recording?
I was doing some writing and some reviewing of rhythms and all of that. So real soon, co-host, I'm gonna be recording a lot of songs, and I'm gonna be putting them out on YouTube and SoundCloud and all of that place, and just see what happens,
All
man.
right, co-host.
Yeah, man.
Kudos and clap claps for
I
you.
was busy doing some writing and reviewing of the rhythms and all of that, and man, I was the most happy, man, because it took me back to those days, when I was in the recording studio,
And when
doing
was the
my
last
thing.
time you done that?
Huh?
And when was the last time you actually, other than doing the intro for the Business Zone,
That was the last time when I did
really?
the promo intro when I was in the studio. That was the last time. But I was just missing it. You know, when you love something so much and you're not doing it anymore, and you feel that missing link in your life. That's
Yes, 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 yes.
that's how it felt to me, man. So I'm saying, hey, man, I'm going back into this thing. So um I ordered the equipment. I ordered a soundboard,
Okay.
a 16 channel soundboard to do the recording and all of that. So I should be receiving that soon, and once I get that, man, I'm gonna go bunkers. I'm gonna be recording like crazy.
I am so proud of you that you are doing something that you truly enjoy,
Oh
and
yes,
it balances out from working, 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 working.
yes,
And so yes, and I tell my kids that all the time. But the Biz Camp kids, that's the beginning part
yeah,
of my classes. What is your passions and your interests, and you really should pursue them, because
right,
those are when you're at your happiest, which means then you're at your most productive,
that's
and
true.
hopefully, and if the passion and determination is there, it will be your most successful moments in your life as well.
Oh
So
yeah. I'm telling you, it's true, man. You see how you like to do the tennis thing, and
yes,
that just takes you away from everything. It's the same
yes.
thing with this music, man. It's like, oh, when I'm playing the rhythms, I'm going, oh, I remember this. This is great.
That I am happy that you did it and you continue on, and we can't wait to hear some recordings.
Oh man, you're gonna love it because I chose some rhythms and some styles that I'm gonna use. That's gonna blow your socks off, co-host.
Okay, look at that. You might be the next. Is it reggae?
Yeah, reggae, definitely.
Okay, they could. There's plenty of room in the reggae space
Oh
for new
man.
artists, man, especially those that are over here. So I can't wait.
I don't know if you ever seen these shorts on YouTube, but there is a lady, she call herself Queen Omega.
Mm.
She's from Trinidad, but she sings reggae, and she sings this song, that when she did the song, I said, "Oh man, I remember the style in the studios." And her songs got like over 2 million views, man. 2 million views on
Ah.
YouTube. Can you imagine my song getting
Oh
close
wow,
to that?
that'd be pretty incredible.
Oh man. So that's what I just felt good about that. So, I know you did some things too, right? You hung out for the 4th of July?
Well, the week of the 4th of July, I actually didn't go anywhere. My girlfriend wanted me to go somewhere, but I was just exhausted. So, I had
Yeah.
to get ready for the next Monday.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I had clients and everything during the earlier part of that week. That was my down week after
Yeah.
graduation. So I kind of just hung out to myself, garden. I started going to water aerobics about 5 weeks ago. And so I went to water aerobics 3 days that week.
That sounds good, man.
Yeah, water aerobic is pretty cool, and
Yes,
already
it
I'm
works all of your body.
your whole body, and you
Yeah.
really don't feel it.
Yeah.
And the local city of the park I go to, for me, it cost me $35 for the month, and
Mm.
you can't beat that for exercise.
Yeah, you
And it's
can't beat that at
literally
all.
15 minutes from my house. And the
Yeah.
young lady that's doing the water, she's the instructor. She is amazing, and she goes. We do an hour class, but she goes over 15 minutes, and in that extra 15 minutes, you're doing a little yoga and
Yeah.
stretching, and so it's just heaven. So that's kind of what I've been doing, and then just preparing for the new cohort of kids. So they're here. They're an amazing group of kids. I am very, very pleased. Not that I wasn't pleased with my last cohort, but this cohort is really bright and excited about being entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Started. They already got ideas. They already got an idea. Some of them already got a name, and they're very focused on it. So that's all it takes for me to be excited. And then let's see what else. You know, from the political world, man, it had gone stock raving mad.
Man, I tune out all of that because things were just getting so crazy and ridiculous. I said, man, I don't want to hear any of this crap anymore, man. So I just tuned out of it. I kind of isolate myself because it's getting too crazy. People are so um petty, and then the Supreme Court doing what they did. It's like
Yeah,
this is ridiculous.
this is like, what country are we living in, man? This is a true banana republic. But I will say this: the one thing, and we have to give kudos to Tahaji Henderson, because when she did the BET Awards a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah,
she told everyone that it's so important that we go out and vote.
right.
And anytime you have a platform, at this day, in this day and time, we have to use our platform
Yeah,
in order to ignite people or our followers or our listeners, because it's so important.
yeah.
So she told everyone to go read Project 2025, and that's like a horror mystery coming into a real life story.
Wow.
And so since she did that, it's been the most Googled since the BET Awards. And now I just heard this morning that the Senate or the House, which one do we have? The House? No, we have the
Well,
Senate.
I think they have the Senate. Yeah, the
Yeah, we
Senate.
have the Senate. So now they are actually getting ready to call a hearing, because um, I guess that was the most profound thing for Independence, Fourth of July, which really doesn't apply to us as Black people,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
for the sake of things, June 28th, June
June 19th.
June 19th was our Independence Day, because the 4th of July really has nothing to do with us.
Nothing to do with us.
Franklin Douglas tells you that it ain't got nothing to do with you Black folks. But so that was, but it does talk, it's democracy. And so knowing how we all, minorities, Black and brown, we already know that the chips are stacked against us. But when you
Yeah,
create a manuscript that's 970 pages long, and I start reading some of it, and you the target.
yeah. I know. That is crazy. That is crazy.
And someone said, that someone I was listening to today said, and they've been blustering about all the stuff they're going to do, but there's some quiet parts that they haven't talked about. Like, oh heck, usually when there's the quiet parts, it means it's Black people.
Yeah.
Or the secret parts. That's what they call it. The secret parts. They're like, oh Lord, that's us.
That's the part we need to be concerned about.
So I've been up in the air, but finally, the Senate is actually going to call a hearing,
Hmm.
because this is serious, and so they recognize it as serious, and at least they can get off of Biden just stepping down, because he ain't doing that, and it makes no sense anyway. We're 100 today. We
Yeah.
are 115 days
Wow.
from voting, which is
Wow.
really 3 months and some change.
That's not really much.
So realistically thinking, people,
Yeah.
you can't bring in another candidate. It ain't
Mm-mm-mm.
enough time, and they would have to raise minimum of $100 million in 3 months and some change.
Right. I hear you,
so
man.
so that is not gonna happen. So we just gotta ride with it. But I do know one thing: we gotta get to the polls. We gotta get to
Yeah,
the polls.
for sure.
Project 25 won't be launched if we go to the polls. If we
Mm.
don't go to the polls, then I highly suggest everyone go get that passport renewed.
I gotta renew mine.
Well, you better go renew it, bro.
I mean, my American passport is legit. It's good until I think 2028 or something like that. But my Jamaican passport. I got to get that renewed.
Oh yeah, because you might have to go back home for a little bit, and at least you got a whole other home to go to.
You know, we always say, we always say, you know, we get on the plane with our Jamaican passport, and the terrorists come and decide to do whatever they want to do. We can just say, "Hey,
I'm
I'm
Jamaican.
Jamaican. I'm not from here." They're gonna say, "Okay, you're lucky. Go over there. You just go sit in the corner over there."
Sharon says, "Hey man, yeah, you got a home to go to, dude. We got to figure out where we're from in Africa before we go home. You know where you from. You can say
Oh man.
Kingston, look, Kingston, I'm on my way home."
That's hilarious, man. That is hilarious.
So there you have it. It's humor, but not humor. But
It is. Yeah, definitely, man. So folks, you know, we gotta have our head on the swivel at all time. We gotta know what's going on, be prepared, be ready, because something that's very simple and seem innocent could turn out to be something very detrimental to us. So got to be ready at all times, guys. Just like we teach and we preach in business, in small business development, small business growth. Got to be ready. Got to be ready for those contracts. Got to be ready for those opportunities. Be ready, you know, to partner. You got to be ready at all times.
And the one thing we've been talking about from a business standpoint, so those of us, we don't have to be locked into only selling in the country that we live in,
That's
right?
right.
We are open to do our marketplace is the entire world in most
Yeah.
cases, and especially because you can connect with the on the internet,
Right.
and you can be in one country and still selling to your customers in another country. So we have to be flexible. You know, it's so interesting when I teach, like I'm doing right now to the kids. I'm always at the fundamentals because I'm always teaching the fundamentals, right?
Yeah.
And so, and reinforcing why it's so important. And so this week we were very focused on the character of being an entrepreneur. And that's
Right.
the one thing we focus on: integrity, authenticity, honesty, because at the core, when your customers are uh, supporting you, they're not supporting just your business; they're supporting you,
Yeah.
and because you're the face of that business, right? And
Right.
so, making sure that you are a responsible entrepreneur, and then making sure that you're responsible for your community because your customers are part of that community.
And I want to add to that a little bit, co host. And folks, for those of you who are just listening to us or just tuning in, this is the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. We're on every Friday from 3 to 4:30. And our service here is to provide support, service, advice, and information to small and micro businesses in Southern California, throughout the whole state of California, throughout the whole country of the United States, throughout the world. And my co just mentioned about doing business with other countries in the world. Folks, there's 195 countries in the world. I'm going to say that again. 195 countries in the world. You don't have to be confined to doing business with just one country, the United States. You can do business with, you know, pick five, at least pick five countries and try to do business with them, because one country may not have the level of restrictions that they have here in your community in the United States. So maybe that those other countries that you pick, they might be more friendly to your products, your services. So think about that, guys. Think about that. And my co host and I, we've been trying to design a program plan to do business in other countries, you know, like South Africa, maybe Ghana, Nigeria. We know some of our listeners are from Kenya. We know some of our listeners are from Venezuela. So there's so many countries that's tuning in to the Business Zone, guy, and you can do the same too for your products and services. I mean, We got Andrea here. We got Sharon Barnes on the call here as one of our listeners. Winter Grace, you know, she got sugar free chocolate. Come on, sugar free chocolate can be sold anywhere in the world. You see what I'm saying? So think about that, guys. Think about that. You know, those are things you want to start, and don't let them confine you and tell you that you can only do business in Los Angeles County or only in the state of California. You know, you got to break barriers. Another thing I want to say before I switch back over to my co-host is, if those of you don't know who Marcus Garvey is or was, Marcus Garvey was a national hero in Jamaica. He started back in the 1920s, right? That's when he decided to do what we're doing, you know, exploring the world and trying to do entrepreneurship throughout the world. People in different countries, Senegal, you name it, they were trying to follow his principle. And his principle was selling among ourselves, small businesses, selling among ourselves. And what he did, he was the one who said, hey, man, our world order is to sell to other countries. Don't rely on, you know, these nations that don't care about us small businesses, small micro businesses. So that was his movement. And that was back in the 1920s. You know, that's just before Black Wall Street, guys. You see what I'm saying? So all of those things are connected. All of those
Mhm.
things were connected. So I just want to put it out there for you to think bigger, bigger.
Yes, yes. Think bigger. Don't just think in your neighbor, in your backyard. Think, how can I grow? Because as I'm saying, we don't know what tomorrow is promised for us, but we do have control as entrepreneurs. That's the whole idea, the whole purpose. One of the purposes of why we are entrepreneurs is because we control our destiny.
Yeah,
And so, the bigger and the broader your vision is, the more flexible and freedom you have as entrepreneurs. And that was really some of the philosophy behind launching. I got an invitation from the DOE yesterday. Well, congratulations. Um, that's from Andrea.
that's Andrea.
Uh
Okay,
huh.
okay. See, that's what I'm talking about. See,
Yeah, just
Andrea has
doing. Don't.
been pretty instrumental, man, in expanding her wings, her services. And folks, just before, I'm so excited about this. See, Andrea, like we say, is one of our clients, right? Andrea is the one who, when they're building the stadium in Las Vegas, the stadium is named after her company, right? Just so you guys know that. Elysian Stadium, that's her company's name. Elysian Electrical, right? That's what she does. And she had a little gig on that project as well. And just to let you guys know, you can spread your wing. Look at that. Look at that. Every time they say
Awesome.
the name, that's her.
That's her. That's right. So she's recognized. So yeah, spread your wings. That's what I tell my children in my business class. Spread your wings. You can shoot for the moon, as Les Brown says. And if you don't quite get to the moon, you're still gonna land down amongst the stars.
Yeah,
And so, go big, man. That's all
yeah,
I can say is go big. And because you never know what's promised for you. But if you stay small, your opportunities are limited, and you really want to grow your business. So
that's
that's what we
right.
want to say, and we want to thank you all, those of you that have been listening to the Business Zone for the last 8 years. Thank you for your support. Now, here's the deal, and we're going to ask you guys, especially those that are here now, if you have not done so, please. Hey, the next Buchanan Arena. uh, Please go over to our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. We got to get to 1,000 subscribers in year 8. Come on, guys.
Yeah, come
Show
on,
some
guys.
love
Support
for
us.
us.
Support us. And send our links to some of your other small business associates that you know, and just encourage them to like and subscribe to us, guys, because we've got some plans to unleash some programs for you guys, but we need to get the likes up to that at least 1,000 level right now. So just go out there, guys, do a campaign for us, because a lot of what we offer you guys are free services. Free services. You know, you guys don't have to pay for it. I mean, the information we share on this program every week is free and it's knowledgeable. We talk about exit strategies. We talk about management styles. We talk about the financials, the back office, all of those things, contract readiness, getting certified, all of those things. So, guys, please, just get us up to that 1,000 so then we can go to the next level and start doing some things for you. This is investing in yourselves.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And Keisha from Winter Grace, she says she actually has her they sell chocolate truffles and chocolate caramel turtles, and they're sugar free. So for those of you who are managing diabetes or celiac celiac disease, I'm sure that I all got all screwed up. And to those who have tree nut allergies, so go check her out, her website, and she'll put that information in. And they sweeten their truffles with organic monk. I didn't even know that's possible. Monk fruit to sweeten the chocolate. So
Oh,
I
wow.
would I
That's
can't wait to try
amazing.
that.
That's
Um,
amazing.
we have a guest Facebook user. Don't know that name, but welcome Facebook user. And said, I love you guys. Off to the White House on the 23rd. Will be sharing. Please do. Tell Biden he has my support. I can only speak for me. Tell him he has my support. I don't care what's going on with him. I'd rather hear him every day, any day.
And
No, no,
tell him
uh,
also we haven't received our check for our small business program that he was going to pledge to us. Okay. So we can help small businesses some more.
yeah, so we'll see. Heck, if we don't go there, we might not have small businesses at all, at least not in this country. But here's what we're about to do, guys. And Greggy, you're so funny. Greggy could bring the girl back in the bikini. I don't know who that was. And bam, 1,000 subscribers.
Which girl did we have in a bikini on
I
here?
don't know.
Hey, Greg, if you know who she is, send her back.
But we're gonna take you guys down memory lane. So in
Yes.
2016, July 8th, the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert were born. Um, it kind of I had been inspired to do a podcast. That was 8 years ago, and everybody was kind of jumping in that space. And so I was playing around with it, but you guys know if you know me, I have no time for a lot of stuff. There's stuff going on all the time. And so I couldn't decide how I was going to do it, whether it was going to be in a studio or online. And then I had the owner of Morris Media Studio, this is where we started. This was our beginnings, and we're going to share a clip from a show that was being hosted at Morris Media when we were introducing our show, and then we will share with you the very first show that we did at the Business Zone with at Morris Media. It's gonna be raw, guys, because I personally didn't have communication background skills, but I learned when we were signing the contract that my co-partner, that was actually his degree program, was communication. So it was like a marriage made in heaven, and we've been together ever since. We have been doing some other business together in a collaborative space. And then, as you guys can see, we're still here doing our thing, sharing our respective knowledge with everyone. So I had heard, trying to decide how I was going to go about this endeavor that I had, whether I was going to be, and it's kind of ironic, Gil, because at first, when I first was thinking about a show, it didn't have a name at that time. I was thinking, do I want to record this at home? That seems so cumbersome. Maybe a studio so somebody can do everything else, and just bouncing that around. And then, of course, Felicia Morris from Morris Media Studio came to the Recycling Black Dollars meeting, mentioned it, and then she basically coerced me to come down to her studio. And when she got there, I fell in love with the studio. I was like, oh yeah, I can do this, man. And then I thought, wait, don't want to do this by myself. And so I was asking around, and Gilbert was actually, we were in the same building. Um, and he was teaching a class upstairs. I was teaching a class downstairs. He walked by the room where I was, and he said, "Hey, you want to do a contract with me teaching QuickBooks?" And I said, "Yeah, that'd be cool. Hey, you want to co-host with me on on a podcast?" And there you have it, guys. That is the beginning story of the business zone. And then we met with Felicia, and but here's the story prior to that. One of my good friends, Barbara Lindsay, she had introduced me to Mother Love. If any of you know Mother Love, she's been on radio and on the air for probably the last 40 years, I guess. Mother Love had a
Mm,
radio show, Prime radio show, and she has a podcast now.
yeah.
And so I went on that show and I fell in love with the mic, with the having the conversation. And so my friend Barbara asked me as I was leaving, she called me when I left the studio and she said, "Hey, what did you think of that?" I said, "It was absolutely fantastic." She said, "Could you do this?" I said, "Yeah, sure, why not?" There's not too much I will say no to that I can do. That's just my flaw. And so she told me, and she said, "Well, what would you call it?" "I don't know, but when would you have it?" "I don't know," but it sounds like a great idea. And so, as manifestation will take place when you put something out in the universe. So, fast forward, Gilbert and I had our conversation. We were sitting down to sign the contract, and so Felicia said, "So when do you guys want to start?" This is about a year later. And I said, "I don't know. Let's see." It was in June. I said, "We need 6 weeks to get everything together. Let's make it July 8th." And so that was when we set the date. And then when I sent the flyer out to start marketing our debut, Barbara called me and said to me, she says, "Crystal, do you know what date you told me you wanted to launch your show?" And I said, "I don't have a clue, Barbara." She said it was July 8th. So actually, it was manifested and everything came together just because it was put out there in the world. And that's the story behind the business zone.
And folks, that's the manifestation of the beginning of the business zone.
And I have had a fantastic time. You, Gilbert?
Oh, for sure, man. There are several things and several reasons why, I love this, and I'm sure you do too. One of them is working with someone like yourself who, see, I respect competency and I respect knowledge and respect innovation and hard work, relentlessness. I see those in you. So when you and I are working on this show, I mean, we bring so many people on this show as guests, right? Even from the
Hmm.
studio days back at Morris Media Live. And
Right.
people come in nervous. They say, "Oh man, I'm so nervous. I've never been on one of these shows before." And we put them at ease. They never have to worry about, us making them feel uncomfortable. It's like, kicking back in a living room having a conversation. And that's how it was with you when we first started this. So it's been an amazing journey since then. And we loved it, man. We love it. And I love your mindset on the financials and all of that you bring, plus you share your other experience on nonprofits, that really help a lot of these small businesses that we coach. So for sure, man, I enjoy being with you.
Right. And it's so funny because, podcasting at the time, it just sounded like a great idea. Everybody was doing it. I did in the back of my mind think, wow, what a marketing tool this is, right? Here
Yeah,
you are on every week sharing your knowledge and your expertise. You just have to garnish more customers that way, and lo and behold, you do.
yeah,
Probably more than you want,
yeah,
possibly that you can handle. But for those of you that have been him and hawing back and forth whether or not you should have a podcast, I think it is one of the best decisions that we have made, or at least I for sure that I've made for my business, because it has
yeah,
been very instrumental in me acquiring certain contracts because they can go online. What a way to validate your expertise if they can go to a YouTube channel and hear you speak before they actually hire you, right?
You know, it's amazing because we've interviewed people on this show, the Business Zone, people from Australia, people from Germany, people from Canada, all over the world, man. You
Yeah.
know, where else would you get the opportunity to sit in a living room like situation like this and interview, pick the mind of other experts around the world? This is just amazing, man. So it's amazing for us. We
So if
this
you
eight
guys
years.
yeah, it's gone by in a blink of an eye. Even with the turmoil going in our lives, Gilbert at one point, a number of years ago, he was flying back and forth to Las Vegas. That's how he
Yeah.
met Andrea. He was
Yes.
working on a contract there. With both of us do. We have an extensive network, so I had some individuals to sit in for him. The show continued on.
Yeah.
There's times when I couldn't be there, and when we were in the studio, we had people to come in, and then even during the pandemic, we were trying to decide whether we would stay around. I think we were down for a month, and I was like, Gilbert, we can't stay down for a month. And Gilbert, actually, we can't. We were down for a month and a half, and we actually came back in July. I don't know if it was before our I'll have to go back and look at the first video when we came back, but I think we came back in July. Online streaming, another phenomenal idea.
That's true, man. That is true. That's amazing, man. So
So
this is one of our first shows, right? This was back in
this is gonna be one
2016.
of our. This was not even our first show. This was when we were announcing to the world. It was on
Oh,
July 1st that we were actually going to roll out our show. We were on the rollout show. It's Freaky Friday. It was July 1st, 2016. And this is them talking to us about our new show, The Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. So take a listen. So we aired Friday, July 8th, 2016. At that time, we were broadcasting live from 3 to 5. So same time slot. And over the time, we've gotten our roaming correspondent, Mr. Gregory Sneed. He pops in, and then Gregory and I actually sit on we do a podcast together as well. So
he said, "Who that ragamuffin on the right?"
so here you go. Let's take a listen to our very first introduction to the Business Zone, to the world, and we're gonna give it a shot.
The mindset, you're right. Our parents.
Let's see. Let's go here. It's actually way back here. Okay. And they thought we were gonna crowd in on their space.
That was great, though. That was great.
Yeah. It just seems like it just was yesterday.
Your show is focusing on and what they can expect from it.
Sure. Well, our program, I'm Gilbert Buchanan, otherwise known as a small business paramedic. And our program is to meet business, entrepreneurship, and business opportunities.
And I'm Crystal Mitchell, and I am the co-director of Recycling Black Dollars, and I also have my own business, Mitchell Business Solutions. And my area of expertise is finance and marketing, and just helping businesses develop into a strong foundation so that they can be successful.
Oh, so happy to have you guys here now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Their show is 2 hours. 3 to 5 on Friday. So all the entrepreneurs and
So they can call in and ask questions how to grow their business?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
what are some of the first things people should consider before starting a business?
Well, because our program is focused on business readiness, contract readiness, and bank loan readiness, one of the things that they need to focus on is how to become ready. And that's really what we're going to teach them, how to become ready, get into the system, and connect them with resources.
And making sure that the business is feasible, that it's just not a concept that that no one, or service or product that no one would want to buy. It just seems like a fantastic idea to you.
I don't want to sell heels for tennis shoes.
Right, exactly. And
To the
is there
black
a market
community.
for that? And is there a market for that?
Right.
So that's some of the things that we're going to address there. And for on a serious note, for Recycling Black Dollars, in that position is where we are today in a business marketplace. We're so below everyone else.
Yes.
And so recycling our dollars, bringing our dollars back into our community so we can build a sound economics foundation, so we can have some say in policy, because we change things by policy. But if we don't have money and power, you have you can't make change. So that's what the purpose is.
Wouldn't some of the problem be kind of training our youth today? Because like when I was growing up, my parents were like, you're going to grow up and get a job. It was never you're going to start your own business or whatever. So it's kind of retraining our mindset as black people, pretty much, because you're basically talking about black folks.
Yes,
much,
we're
right?
talking about
Okay.
black folks, yeah.
So
Hence the Recycling Black Dollars.
but it
Not
would be,
Filipino dollars. Those are dollars.
They do quite well.
Yeah, they do. All right.
like she said, every
Nurses.
other ethnic background does better than us, pretty much, as far as, sticking together, and especially Hispanics and Jews and whoever else. Koreans, yeah. They really,
Everybody.
they all got it down but us.
Music
And why do you think that is, though?
I think obviously goes back to our pre-slavery conditioning and our mindset that we can't trust each other, and that we can't work together, and that our products are inferior to everybody else's products. What it is that we don't have the broad stroke that we can purchase in volume and lot, so we can give you that discount. So we have to do it the way we do it. So of course the prices may be more, but there are some things that we have to start focusing on, is providing better customer service.
I was just
going to
say,
the product
yeah.
is correct. But then those of us that are consumers, we also need to be able, if you're not getting that service in a black establishment, then you would tell someone else to fix it. So we have to be able to address that issue with each other to be able to do that. But the mindset, you're right. Our parents, and our parents did that because they had worked hard and they wanted us to go get a good job and, paycheck and every 2 weeks, and then you could. But the economy is built on entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
You have to create jobs, and you have to create new type of
Smart
businesses,
people,
because
huh?
there's an ebb and flow for everything. And so we're in a really phenomenal place right now, but we just have to make sure that our businesses are growing so that they can service us and our needs, but at the same time be very conscious that that money has to come back to us.
And a big part of what we're doing also, and that's why we're so excited about this, because we teach a lot of workshops all over the place. As a matter of fact, I just came back from San Francisco yesterday teaching some workshops up there. But the key thing is, a lot of us small businesses, we operate informally. We operate out of our little shoe boxes, little back of a truck. So what our approach is to get them thinking big. We want them to think formal. And we have a system called Small Biz Pro, which they're going to love. Next week, we're going to give away some copies of this. That will help the businesses to organize, plan, access their documents in 10 seconds or less from anywhere in the world. You heard about Dropbox and Google Drive. Well, this is like 10 times better than those systems. So we're thinking of giving away some free copies of this on the show next week.
We're
trying to expand this.
Yes,
exactly.
Just to help the businesses so they can see that we're serious about helping them, because many times they want an opportunity to come to the table to get some opportunity with the bigger guys. But because they're not ready, they're excluded. What we're doing is giving them the tools so they can sit at that table. They can be prepared before they go sit at that table. So when they ask for opportunities, they're actually ready to deliver.
Now, most, I would assume the questions will probably be, if you have a small business, is how to get a loan, and you guys will be able to walk people through that as well.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Or a grant, whatever it may be.
Oh, yeah. And this system that we're talking about, it has templates in it that shows them. So even if they know nothing about numbers or anything like that, all they have to do is plug it in, and it gives.
Look how enthusiastic you were, Gilbert.
That is amazing, co-host. I'm looking at it. I'm going,
remember
who
that?
is that guy?
And Greg said, sounds like a young man there. We were on point. So
Oh,
that was
man,
this
that's
was our
amazing.
intro show. And now I'm gonna pull up, and I'm gonna actually put this show on our Facebook page, so you guys can go over in our Instagram page. But we had our very first show actually was with Nolan Rollins, and he was at the time the president. I'm gonna stop sharing for a second so I can pull it up. He was the president of Los
Los
Angeles Urban
Angeles
League
Urban League, yeah.
at the time, and so it was an honor to have Nolan as our very first guest. Very prominent at the time. He had just, I guess, he had just started. Um, he had just been elected appointed to the president of the Urban League. So we were very honored to have such an extinguished first guest. But he was a really good friend of mine. And so when I asked, he said, "Of course, anything you want, Crystal." And since that time, we've had some amazing guests. But I do want to show the very first guest, and then Gilbert, we can just kind of reminisce about some of the other things
Yeah,
that we have
this is
done.
nice. This is nice going down memory lane, man. I'm liking this. Wow. I said some intelligent things back then, huh?
I know, and but here's the thing: we're still saying the same thing. We're
I
still
know.
thinking the same thing. We're still sounding the alarm bell, right?
8 years later.
and I consistency is a big thing.
That's
Consistency is
right.
real.
That's right.
So yes, we did that. Let me see if I can find our first July show. Our very first one we did.
Greg said, "Who knew?"
So this is just a clip from our very first show with.
This was our first live show by ourselves, right? You notice the quality of the camera back then, right? It was not so. I don't think they had 4K back then, so it was just.
Yes, no.
But this time, and while my co-host is looking that up, folks, those of you who are just tuning in, this is the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. The Business Zone is a small business podcast providing services, resources, advice, coaching information, and support services to any small and micro businesses out there, primarily in Southern California. But if you want to do coaching or do classes online, we can do that too. So wherever you are in the world, you can obtain that type of services from us. And we'll put our email and contact information in the chat so you guys can have that.
Right. So I'm getting ready to share, and this one's just a short little clip with Nolan. It actually is already going to start with him. And here we go.
An airport that believes in being inclusive. We are an airport that
So Nolan actually
believes that we've got to
at
be
the
intentional
time,
about making sure that money stays in minority business hands.
he was, hold on, what's happening here? At the time, he was the an ambassador for the Los Angeles airport, as well as the president of the Los Angeles Urban League. So he brought a short little clip with what's happening. Now I'm seeing us. What's happening here? Let me stop the share because I had it. And we had some really great guests. We had
the regional director from the SBA also,
we
right?
did.
And a few
So,
others.
yeah, we did. Let me see. I'm trying to get, because it's showing our current. And what's happening?
You got to share again. Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
So,
I'm sharing. I'm getting ready to share as soon as it comes back in. This is gonna act up.
if you guys are a small business out there, you'd like to be a guest on the Business Zone, please reach out to us. We can get you on this show. We'll send you a link so you can register, be a guest on this show so you can talk about your product, your services, and just talk about your business so other customers and clients can learn about your business and also decide to support your services. Like I say, we're international. So people all over the world, they're hearing and seeing our videos weekly. As a matter of fact, people will contact us and say, when is the next show? It's always weekly every Friday, folks, from 3 to 4:30. And it's on YouTube, it's on Facebook and LinkedIn Live. So please be our guest. Please be our guest.
Got to procure in
Okay, what's happening? Okay, here we go. There we go.
the marketplace to actually
This
do
is our
what
first
we need
show.
them to do. Because here's the truth. The marketplace will change depending on the color you want your house to be. If we say to the marketplace, every single person that you bring in should be wearing a zebra suit, guess what? Every single person that they bring in will be wearing a zebra suit.
Right. Yep.
So it is about understanding the
market,
power
yeah.
of an institution's ability to kind of change the market dynamics as opposed to
Exactly.
the market dynamics changing what we do. So
Exactly.
what we say is, with the moral and economic authority, here's how we're going to make sure that this happens.
Right.
But then after that's done, after they say to us, okay, we're going to make sure that we meet your percentages. We're going to get that done. We have our team here. Then we get monthly, them coming back to us, the staff coming back to us and saying, here's where we are on these percentages. Here's where we are on these numbers. Now, what I would say to you is we're about to spend billions more than we've ever spent before. And what that means to me is we've got to.
So that was in 2016, and so
If reelected, he
that
would be
was
a
before we even got, knowing he was helping resurrect the Urban League at the time, and but a lot of stuff was going on in LA, and those billions of dollars he was talking about was really, he was already alluding to what was going to happen with the Olympics when it came in 2028. So he was actually already
That's
having that
amazing. That's
conversation
amazing.
in
That's
2016.
amazing that he was talking about those back then. You see what I'm saying? And it was way before the announcement of it here in our community. That was
hmm
2016. And
Yeah.
we just heard about the launch of this in 2022. You see what
Yes.
I'm saying? So that was amazing, man. I was amazed that he had that
Yeah.
information to share.
Because he, like I said, he was the Urban League president, and so and that is one of the reasons that I have the community briefing, because these conversations go on way before we start talking about these
Yep.
conversations, and there are people that are sitting at those tables when those conversations are first started, and when they're just a seed of an idea. And so and I read something years and years ago by Dr. Claude Anderson, and he said that if you are in control of the media that is having conversations about you, then you have control of your race and your community. So very, very important
That's
that
a
we
good
do.
point. It's a very
Yeah.
good point.
So I'm going to share this show. This was our June, July 15th, 2016. And this was a show that I had just finished up Biz Camp at the time. And this young man these two young people at the time, they're now grown people, Gilbert.
Really?
Both of them. Both of them are grown people right now. One of
Wow.
them actually is 24 years old, I believe, and
Wow.
he
We
has
should bring
been,
them back on the show.
yeah, Took I haven't seen in a long time, but I do know that he's a young man. But the young lady, she actually, her name is Jordan. Jordan has been an intern for. So here we are. third show.
And welcome back. We are the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, a weekly online radio show bringing business, entrepreneur, and supplier diversity together to create success. And today we are here talking about a program called NIFTY, which is the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship to Young People. And we have some young alums from the previous Biz Camp that they're going to be talking about their business. So my first one, and he actually was in the class that I taught, and when he came in, he was the youngest person out of all the kids there, and he was just so enthusiastic about what he did, so talented. And as we got to know him, you almost forgot that he was, how old were you at the time?
I believe I was about 9, so I was in 3rd grade when this happened.
Okay, so you almost forgot that he was in 3rd grade. But when I recognized that he was in 3rd grade was when he was competing, and while he was, and throughout the class, you'd come over and talk to him, and he had a little yellow duck. And that's when I realized that, wow, this is a kid. He's a child. He had his little yellow duck, and the little duck went everywhere he went throughout the class. And the day we were at competition, he's like, Miss Crystal, I got my duck. I got my duck. And that's when I realized he was a child. Chook is a trained actor, and he will pronounce his full name because the rest of us can't. So he's going to pronounce that when he speaks to you. He's a trained actor from Actors Comedy Studio. Chook is currently starring in a show called Lady Dynamite with Maria Bamford. Chook is also the star in the PETA commercial and PSA, The Story of Agga.
Ag-gag.
Ag-gag, okay. Chook is being mentored by Taylor Suits LA, Richard Alvarez, as well as co-starring in a kids pilot program called Let's Stay Together. Chook can be seen on several BuzzFeed videos, one with over 5 million views. Chook is an alumni from the Laugh Factory comedy camp. Chook is a kid CEO. He owns a company called Chook's Bows, currently available online and through Instagram. Chook is the youngest alum at the Los Angeles Urban League Entrepreneurial Biz Camp. His recent appearances, Drake Energy Video, Laugh Factory, Flappers, the Comedy Union, and the host of the Los Angeles Urban League Biz Camp Celebration, charities that Chook serves. Chook performs stand-up comedy for kids on Skid Row every month, and it's called Worthy of Love. Welcome, Chook. Wow, you are such a talented young man. An actor in his own right. He got credits. He has credits out there. And so, Chook, tell us a little bit about who you are other than what I just read. Well, so how old are you?
Well, now I'm 10, and I'm in 4th grade now, but I'm currently about to go into the 5th grade.
Okay.
And my name is actually Nigerian. It means God has done well, but I'll tell you my whole name. It's Chukwu Emeka Waka. And it means God has done well. It's really long.
And God did do well.
Yes, he has.
He did an incredible thing when he created you, along with your parents, of course. So tell me, Chook, what was your experience when you first came to Biz Camp?
Well, what was my experience? It was different. It was large. Everybody in there was just on their phones and quiet like this. Just silent. So I'm like, I was the only person who was really trying to socialize there when I was younger. So it was a really good experience. I got to learn how to make a business plan. I learned my market. I learned marketing, and I learned how to do my pitch, which was amazing.
Yes, it was. So you were already in business, though, when you came, right?
Yeah, I already had my business, and I already had some business cards as well.
Okay. So tell us what you do.
Well, I'm an actor, designer, comedian, and I'm also the CEO of my own company.
Okay. So what's your product? What do you make?
I make and design bow ties and hair bows.
Okay. And what motivated that?
Well, I just like getting dressed. So later on, I decided to say, hey, why don't I start my own company? So I did. Okay.
So you want to hold up some of your, the cameras are right there. You want to hold up some of your bow ties?
Yeah, it has one bow tie.
So there you go. So this is one of his, and you have another one for me?
Yep.
That's a little man right
So how
there.
do you pick your materials for your bows?
Well, I usually go downtown most of the time, and then the first thing I do is look at the material. I feel it to make sure if it's stretchy. If it's stretchy and thin and like almost see-through, you cannot use that for a bow tie. It needs to be nice, it needs to be soft, and it can't be all stretchy and see-through. That's not good.
Okay. And
That's
have
good
you
knowledge
sold many
right
bow
there.
ties?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so about how many clients you have?
How many clients do I have? Well, I have a lot of clients. I have some clients who are like in the NFL. I have like a football player as one of my clients, I believe. And we're trying to make a new line called Colossal. Since he's really big, we're gonna make different ones for people who are a little larger, so it will fit around their neck instead of the normal size.
Oh, okay. And so you wear your own bow ties as well?
Yes, I'm wearing one right now.
Okay, and what is that one called?
This here, let me see. I'm gonna see if I can get this off. Well, this is the clip-on. This is the top seller. It's called the Sneaker Doodle.
Okay, so the Sneaker Doodle, everyone has sneakers and they with colored shoestrings, and it's called the Sneaker Doodle. And so you make them both with the clip-on and the tie around the neck?
These are currently have the ones that are tied. Well, these currently have the straps. I don't make the ones that you have to tie yourself. I usually just make the ones that are pre-made, but I have versions of the bow ties that you guys just saw with clips on them.
Oh, okay. All righty. So are you doing your marketing? Do you go out and do your own marketing?
Yes, I do.
Okay. How did you become a comedian?
So now I'm going to
Working to make JMF a global business and hopes to bring.
jump over.
When you're in business for yourself, you have to have a team and a village. It helps, huh, Chuck?
Yes, it really does.
A strong team in the village.
Okay, well, that's fantastic. Well, Chuck is an amazing young person, young adult. I'm gonna say he's a young adult because he is a young adult.
Right.
And, so I'm glad you guys got his back out there, and we're gonna be looking for some fantastic things for him in his future.
Always and forever.
Okay, thank you for calling.
You're great. You guys have a good day.
All right, thank you. So Jordan had formulated a business plan and competed with other members of the class in a business plan competition. Jordan
Jackson, and I don't really know what else I'm gonna say.
So tell me why jewelry?
Jewelry. Well, as a child, I've always been very fashionable. I've always had a bracelet, an earring, some necklaces. I've always dressed myself.
Okay.
So I've always had a passion for fashion, and when I had the opportunity, thank you to Rhonda Sandifer, I had the opportunity to attend the Nifty Biz Camp, and I just remember the first day they were like, so what do you enjoy to do? What would you like to make a business out of, something that you can, have a passion for as well as make money for and all that. And I just remember sitting there like, what do I like to do? And I looked down and I'm like, I got some bracelets on. I like my jewelry. So that's how Jewelry Made Fabulous was born. And since then, I've just gotten the opportunity to network with different people who have helped me to better my business, help me to make new designs and venture out and figure out what can I do to make it to the next level.
Oh, wow. So do you have an extensive clientele as well?
Right now, actually, I do. I network with a lot of reoccurring clients that come back to me at the moment. But right now, Jewelry Made Fabulous is revamping, and we're just going to redesign and reopen my business, if that makes sense.
And are you selling to your school colleagues?
So we have adults that can't articulate that well about their business.
I was just thinking that, man. I'm saying, man, some of our adults clients need to take a look at these kids and emulate them.
And Jordan was Took was 9 and Jordan was actually 12.
It's amazing.
So those were our second show.
Yeah.
And again, because it was right after Biz Camp, and so I was able to bring them in, and it's been a good time. It's been a good time, and we've done well. I think you during that first the second show you weren't there. You came back on it at the last show. I think you were traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was 2016, our very first adventure um into doing what we do.
That's right. That's right. I love the inspiration, the enthusiasm of these young entrepreneurs, man. I'm telling you, what you're doing there in the BizCamp program co-host is just phenomenal. We never had this available to us when we were growing up. So, for us to impart this kind of knowledge and structure to them, it's just priceless, man. It's priceless.
Yes, it definitely is. And in addition to interviewing clients, we also have done a number of class and sessions where Gilbert and I are pretty much showcasing the information and the coaching skills that we utilize with our clients, especially as we started doing online courses, online shows. We actually did a number of shows that we utilize within our coaching practice. So here's one of them. Now this is was done in 2021, I believe. And so we're going to jump right on over here to we start. This was about recession-proof businesses.
Oh, that was right about the time of the pandemic.
Yes.
We were barely crawling out of it.
I don't think we were actually crawled. I don't think we had crawled out. I think we were still smack in the middle of it, but we jumped onto the occasion, and so we started having our topics were really then about creating businesses that were, as we did, as you can see here, that are recession proof. That no matter what is going on in the world, in your communities, as a business owner, if you have a product or service that is needed by a populace of people, you can actually be in business even during the recession. A recession. And in this case, during the pandemic, it was about were you an essential business? Because that was the key word at that time. What made you an essential business is what if what you were selling was something that people needed.
Right.
Yeah. So, any of the shows were your favorites, Gilbert?
Well, there have been so many of them. The one with the SBA with Victor, that was one. We have Richard Pillay. He was one of them also that we showcased. Let's see what else we got here. There's quite a few. We had one with George Frazier. Do you remember that one, George
I
Fraser?
do. George has been on a couple of times. Let me see when George actually was on. We were in the studio
Yeah.
with George. Let me see.
And Greg Sneed, our field correspondent, said the names have been withheld to protect the innocent. So if we don't talk about a name on here, it's because we're protecting the innocent.
And who might be our innocents?
And here we
Yeah.
got Miss Sharon Barnes, Dr. Sharon Barnes, helping homeowners leverage their property with accessory dwelling units. So those are ADUs, guys. ADUs. Those definitely needed in our community. So we'll hopefully Sharon can tell us a little more about those as well.
Actually, I think it would be a great idea if Sharon came on the show.
Yeah,
What do you think?
we need to get you on the show so you can talk about your product there, the ADUs that you're helping homeowners to leverage.
In fact, that's some of the ways or that they're looking at addressing some of the homeless problems is actually being able to add ADUs to your property, so
Yeah.
you can have tenants. Um, some concerns about that. So Sharon, we'd love for you to come on and talk to us about the pros and cons, and she says I'm there, so we'll make sure you get the link to put you on the calendar.
Yeah.
But I've read several, and I've participated in a number of conferences when homelessness was on the conversation on the agenda, and there's some pros and cons to having the homeless living on your property if you don't know them. But at the same time, Sharon said you're an old friend from the Black Chamber. Uh,
That's true, man. Back in the day, and Sharon was pretty active. As a matter of fact, she's one of my Small Biz Pro uh, user and supporter. She's one of the first to have used it, and she even
mm,
promoted it among many of the clients that she worked with. So thank you for that, Sharon. Thank you so much.
awesome. Yeah, definitely we have to get Sharon on. So you have to send her out the information.
Yeah, I'll send you the information, Sharon. I'll send you the link so you can register. Just pick a date and register as to when you want to come on the show and just let the world know about it. Because I'm definitely interested to hear more about these ADUs. I had a client that I was working with. He manufactures those ADUs. And as a matter of fact, co-host, the way those ADUs are being made right now, they look like real houses. It's like, if you want to buy a piece of land, say let's say in San Bernardino, right? Because
Mhm.
San Bernardino has a lot of land. So let's say
Mhm.
you want to buy a piece of land, maybe a quarter of an acre or 1/8 of an acre. You can build those ADUs on there, and you can, if you want, you can Airbnb them out. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
So a
Yeah.
lot of people, you can get like a nice 2-bedroom ADU the way this guy manufactures it. A 2-bedroom structure, you can get that for like, 150 grand, 100 to 150 grand. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. No, and then again, you have extra space in your backyard,
Yeah.
and so now you can actually create that additional revenue, which is all
Oh
about
yeah.
business, right? Creating additional revenue to your business.
Yeah.
Um, and Sharon said they are real houses. That they
Yeah, they
are.
are real houses. I'm telling you, I wanted to get involved in it and purchase one, but I think this small business, he was working on getting his board set up and getting certain structures ready. So he wasn't ready for what we were trying to do at the time. But
Mm.
the opportunity's there, man. The opportunity's there. And if we're looking for investments, this would be a great way to invest in those ADUs. So Sharon, when you come on this podcast, I'd like you to talk about that a lot.
He said you still got to trench a sewer line and a water service. Years ago, right after the recession in 2008, the housing, the one that was the housing crisis that we had, there was a house that I went to. My sister is a real estate broker,
Hmm.
and so we would always go to open houses and check out. So there was a house that was built off of Obama Boulevard. At that time, it wasn't called that; it was called Rodeo, but
Yeah.
off of Obama Boulevard, and it was a electric. Everything in the house was run off of an iPad. And
Really?
yeah, and the house was, and it seems to me, and Sharon may be able to tell us more about this, but it seemed so the house, it was a shell of the house, kind of an open floor plan,
Hmm.
and in order to get your rooms, the furniture was like, became the wall because it had a longer wall,
Oh,
so, and you could shift it around to restructure the rooms in your house.
yeah.
And then in the living area was open floor plan. The kitchen was an open floor plan, but there was everything was run from inside of a control panel. And
Hmm.
so when the plumber had to come in, when the electrician had to come in, they would go into the control room, and they would operate, and they didn't have to dig out walls and all that sort of stuff to fix your plumbing. It was all structured in this one room in the house.
That's amazing.
And they
That's
they
amazing.
already had they already had the plans. All you had to do was find the land, and they would build this house. And I don't know what it was called, the Sunshine something. And I don't know what happened, why it did become a very popular thing. But you literally, if you wanted to restructure your bedrooms, then you just the bookcases actually were the walls.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I think this is something, many of us should look into, because if we're looking, to me, if I'm looking into investments, instead of putting my money in the stock market, I'll put it in these ADUs, and put it out there,
It is by
because you can
far the
get,
best
yeah, you
place.
can get those leased and rented easily and quickly, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. So she's gonna come on. You're gonna send her over the link, and we're
Yes.
gonna have her on to come talk about ADU.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
we had let's see, we had Victor Parker on in 2017, and
Oh,
this is
okay.
Victor Parker was the city deputy
Hmm.
for the SBA. Now Victor Parker is he's in Washington now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's my bud. That's my bud.
This
But
is
we have
great.
so we're going to be continually celebrating. We'll have some other clips that we will share throughout the rest of the month.
Yes.
And we just want to thank you all for sharing
And
and supporting us
celebrating with us.
and celebrating with us, and continue to support us. We're not going anywhere. We do want to monetize this platform, so we do need you to go on. If you're brand new and you're just listening for the first time, please go over to our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. Or you can do it you can take a picture of this lovely QR code that I created, and you can go over there and subscribe. Help us get to, we're a little ways away, but help us get to that, to that goal, and then we'll continue on. We will continue to be here, interviewing amazing guests, as well as sharing our class and sessions that is bringing you the coaching that we do to our one-on-one clients, and sharing all the knowledge that we've accumulated over our 30 plus. Individually, we have over 30 plus information, and we'd love for you guys to share us. So go out there. You can find us on, we broadcast live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube every Friday afternoon at 3 p.m. to sometimes 5, but more like it's about an hour and a half. So please go over to our channel, our YouTube channel, while you're subscribing, and just meander through some of the amazing shows that we've had, and the guests that we have had. And if you are a audio podcaster and you ready to listen then actually see, then you can go over to our Podbean channel, and you can download a video and listen to it at your convenience. So, but subscribe there as well. We have quite a few episodes over there as well. Some of them are current, and some of them have been put up in the last couple of days. So go over there as well. So we can be found anywhere you're looking. And if you're looking for where we are on podcast channels, we're on Apple, we are on Spotify, we are on Amazon, we are on Alexa, we are on iHeart, we're on Play PM, we're also on Samsung, and just anywhere that is your favorite channel for listening to podcasts. So go on over to Podbean, or go and then Google us, and hit that subscribe button as well, or Spotify, or Apple if you're on an Android. So
And
anyway,
co-host,
you need to find us.
if you could look up the Small Biz Pro link so we can
Oh,
show
yes.
we can showcase a little bit what Small Biz Pro is about. So, because a lot of people have been hearing about Small Biz Pro, but they don't really know what it's really about. So my co-host is gonna bring up the link on that so you guys can get a little taste of it for about 60 seconds, and then we have over 700 videos, guys. 700 videos on our YouTube channel on shows that we've done, training that we've done, programs that we've done. You can download those videos and kind of watch and learn from it. We've got class and sessions sometimes. We talk about exit strategy, we talk about contract readiness, we talk about financial readiness, getting
Do
business
you have a
loans and all of that. So check it out, guys. Go to our videos and download some of them and check it out. But in the meantime, we're going to play a little promo right now on our patent
tool that
pending
organizes your company's paperwork
software.
Okay, here we go.
and takes care of all your record keeping? Does your current record-keeping system send you 90-day alerts to remind you that your key documents are about to expire and need to be renewed? Can you find contracts and procurement opportunities in seconds from any of the 50 United States so you can grow your business? Is your business organized so that you can tell which key documents are needed to efficiently run the business? How about woman-owned, small business, or disadvantaged business enterprise certifications? Do you have a checklist of all the key documents you need to become certified? Does your current system allow you to conduct market research from multiple sources and provide you industry and market data in seconds? Well, Small Biz Pro does all of that and more. Small Biz Pro is the #1 business management, compliance, procurement assistance, and market research assistance tool on the market today. Download the app now and you will be amazed. It's like having 3 additional employees working for you, but you don't have to pay them. What are you waiting for?
So Gilbert, tell them about Small Biz Pro and why they want to go on over there and register as well, so that they can find and hire their 3 employees.
That's right, guys. You can get your 3 free employees just by using Small Biz Pro. Small Biz Pro is like having 3 additional employees in your company working for you, and you don't even have to pay them because it helps to organize your documents. It stores your documents. It helps you to find contracts. It helps you to find grants. If you need to register your business or check on the status of your business with the California Secretary of State, you can do that as well. You can do that in Small Biz Pro. And when you log into the system, there are 4 blue links, 4 blue buttons to your left that you can click on. One of them is registering your registrations with the California Secretary of State. Or if you want to do a DBE, a DBA on your business, you can log into the County of Los Angeles's website and check out the status or apply for your your DBA status. I keep saying DBE. So, guys, this is such a great tool for you to help you. And Andrea Vigil and Sharon Barnes, they can attest to that because they're using it. As a matter of fact, co-host, another one of our clients and associates is that we found is also using this. Is Robin Thorne from CTI Environmental. They use Small Biz Pro as well to run the daily operation of their business, manage their paperwork. When it comes to bidding on contracts, they have all their information. Their capability statement is there. Or if you don't have a capability statement and you want to create one, go to Small Biz Pro. You can create it right there in 30 minutes. 30 minutes, guys. No more than that. So it's such a great tool for you guys to help run your business, stay in compliance, and making sure you get access to procurement, contracts, and grants. So check it out, guys. You can go to smallbizpro.net/join to test it out. You got a 10-day free trial, and if you like it, you just continue. I'll put the link in the chat for you guys. So please check it out. This is something I created 17 years ago to help small businesses compete with the bigger businesses, the established businesses who are getting all the contracts and small businesses were getting none. So this gives you a competitive advantage.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Thank you, Greg, about the prettiest QR code out there. Come back next week, guys. We have a guest next week. We have a young lady that has created a one-page business plan to help you stay on track and focused in your business. And so Melanie Ray will be our guest next week. And then we're gonna make sure Sharon is our guest after that. And then we are looking for other guests in the month of August. So if you're interested in coming on the Business Zone, let Gilbert and I know. We'd love to have you as a guest, and love for you to share your information and knowledge with us. With
Definitely.
that, we are going to sign off for the week. And thank you all for joining us for our celebration of our 8 years on air. And we will be continuing to celebrate throughout the month of July. Actually, I think we should see if we can get Felicia on.
Oh, yeah, that would be nice. Let's reach out to her and see if we can bring her on as a guest to showcase her helping us to launch the Business Zone on her platform.
On her platform.
Her radio
I'll
station.
give her a call next week and see what her schedule is. And see if we.
And after we did our first show, guys, I went into the studio about 20 minutes and I created this promo that I'm going to play right now. This has become our theme for the Business Zone. Now, some of you may have heard it, some of you may not have heard it, but this is yours truly lending his vocals to the promo here, guys. So check it out.
As a small biz pro, so we roll, using procurement, program and control. As a small biz pro, so we grow, using procurement, program and control. I'm a businessman.